My granddad and my dad were both craftsmen. When they needed something, they built it. And if it was broke, they fix it with whatever resources they might have. Everything happens for a reason. It was inevitable that Matt and I would work together. I'm not an engineer. I do things unusual sometimes, but I do have a common sense approach, and it kind of gives me a feel for what we need to do and what will work. I've sure enjoyed my time at Mathews. It's everything moves pretty quick.
The first compound bows in the 1960s had 4 wheels and 2 eccentric cams. 1992, the last unnecessary cam was eliminated when Matt McPherson introduced the revolutionary Mathews Solo Cam, the first dual-feed single-cam bow. As the originator of single-cam technology, Mathews Archery is one of the fastest-growing bow companies in the industry today.
Joel Maxfield. My first memories of Joel, he had this black leather jacket. I'm pretty sure it was black. And, you know, he looked really intimidating to me. I'm like, who is that guy, you know? And he was always kind of around Matt. And, you know, my first memory is just like, man, this guy's a stone cold killer.
He's probably the most unknown legend, I think, maybe in this world. You know, he's an absolute killer and an unbelievable shot with a bow.
Joel Maxfield is the bowman. I mean, the Mathews bowman, that's who Joel Maxfield is.
Joel's one of the best bow hunters probably one of the best bow hunters in the world that nobody knows. But
I really believe Joel is absolutely one of the top 5 bow hunters in the world. No question in my mind.
My whole childhood was really filled with outdoorsmen. My granddad, my dad, my brother, you know, all my idols kind of were outdoorsmen. From my earliest memories, I always had some sort of a bow and arrow. You're responsible for everything that happens. The energy that sends the arrow down range is your energy. Everything about where that arrow goes has to do with you. I like things that I'm responsible for. It just brings a higher sense of accomplishment. Accuracy is everything. It means a lot more than the center of the bullseye. Accuracy is just how I try to live life. We're hunting brown bears on Admiralty Island, southeast Alaska, so odds are we'll be wet pretty much all the time. I got 2 different raincoats in there already. Yeah, brown bears. Final one of the Super Slam.
Super Slammers are the elite, the best of the best. Dedicated hunters have put in the miles, done the research, glassed, spotted, stalked, hiked, and climbed on the most grueling hunts that this continent can dish out. 29 big game animals with bow and broadhead.
And the extended forecast for the Juneau Borough and north of Admiralty Island, including Juneau, for Saturday night. Scattered rain showers.
Well, we got into Petersburg, we overnighted, and now we got out to the boat this morning and get after some brown bears. Walk up the creek and step around some salmon and find a bear, chasing them down. It'll be fun.
So, bear pills, 510 grade soft winds. They can't take a lot of that.
Bear pills, 100 grade.
Oh my.
I enjoy adventures, and I enjoy seeing new areas and new species and new animals, that kind of thing. And just a lot of hunting had got me a long ways down the road before I ever even considered a Super Slam. I actually was interviewing Darren Collins at an ASA tournament because he had just completed a Super Slam. Afterwards, we went to lunch, and he asked me, he's like, man, what do you got? You shot a bunch of stuff. What animals do you have? You know, he just kind of threw it back at me, and I'm like, I don't know. I said, I got some things. He's like, well, here's the list. How many caribou you got? And I'm like, I don't know, like 4. And he's like, well, have you shot a muskox? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you're not after a Super Slam and you got a muskox? He said, what, you know? And I said, well, what is it? What am I trying, what do you know? And so we started explaining all this stuff, and I find out that there's a Super 10. And I thought, well, I might not ever accomplish the Super Slam. I'm pretty sure I never will, but I could get the Caribou Slam because there's 5 of them and I got 4, and it was just from random hunts throughout my life. And I thought, I'm gonna go get that 5th caribou. So I went and got a caribou, and I'm like, yes, I said, I got all the caribou. And I broke it up into species, and I started chasing all the individual species. In order to accomplish a Canadian moose, I went 8 times. I went on 8 Canadian moose hunts before I harvested my Canadian moose, actually before I ever drew my bow.
Yes. Oh, my bad luck with Canadian moose is over right there. Ah!
That's the one. And we're at the entrance of a creek that a lot of salmon are running up, and we're going to work our way up this creek into the wind and see what we find for bears. We did a walk this morning up the river. This river's got fish. We've seen a lot of dead fish and several live fish. We watched some beautiful stretches of river that had a lot of activity as far as fish, but no activity as far as bears. So one day, but we didn't see anything can shoot. So. Creating white caps on this little bay. It's crazy. It's on the radio they said atmospheric river, whatever that is, but we're just going to ride this storm out before we're able to hunt again. But down here in the level, it's maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 mile an hour with 50, 60 mile an hour gusts. But what happens is you get there it comes, up high, up at 100 feet up in the air. It's 80 miles an hour. This is crazy. I feel like a weatherman doing a hurricane.
Well, I started McPherson Archery in 1985 in the spring. I went to the local archery pro shop, and Joel was just a young teenager working there. And that's the first time I met him at an archery shop. He was one of the guys running the shop. He had just a very calm demeanor about him. That was just kind of his typical nature, just kind of calm, yet he would really go after things. And I just saw in him a person that was confident without being cocky. And I thought, those are the kind of people that can accomplish a lot in life because they don't typically get in their own way. So what ended up happening was in 1991, I was developing some new ideas. Joel at that time was helping the transferring of McPherson Archery to Alabama, but he was not going to stay on as an employee.
I didn't really know what I was going to do. They offered me a job to stay in Bruton, and I'm kind of a Minnesota boy, so I'm like, I don't think I want to move to Alabama. Matt stopped over to the house, and he had this notebook, and he had a bunch of drawings, and the notebook was red. I can remember this day like it was yesterday. He said, I think I'm going to start another bow company. The second that he started to explain single cam, it was like, oh my word, that is so amazing. It just clicked. It's like, this is what needs to happen.
As the story goes, you know, Matt kind of said, hey, I'm going to start this thing and I'd love to have you be a part of it. You know, you just knew at that point that there was a connection there, you know, just this deep respect.
Well, Matt had a shed rented north of town, and it's hilarious. Like, it's like it was an old body shop, I guess, and the one stall had a tractor, and there's paint cans, and there's oil troughs cut in the floor kind of thing for the oil to drain into. I mean, it was a body shop, and we were going to turn it into a archery manufacturing company.
You know, it's always exciting when you think, hey, I think we got something really special here, and it's just two of you to begin with, and you imagine, hey, this could go big, you know, but it's just two of us.
The environment of two guys with a bow company with no help, it was like two little kids building a fort.
Those early years when we hardly had anybody there, it was exciting, and then to see kind of things starting to grow. It was exciting knowing, hey, this could go a long way, you know? We started in '92, and in '94 it just went absolutely crazy.
Okay, need anything? I'm gonna go check lights. It's gonna be a nice day, that's what I know.
I want to see under the water.
Hey, Craig. Hang on a minute. Oh, it looks small. Maybe not.
The wind's gonna be blowing right down.
Yeah.
That bank.
Wait till it gets up here anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just keep our eye on it. Maybe get a closer look. He doesn't look real big. Maybe 7.5 feet. He's gonna turn left. It's blowing across. What do you think, 7.5?
I don't think we want to shoot it.
Pretty obvious. Unusual behavior for a small bear. They're hungry.
Seas 30 feet. Wind from Monday, southwest gale to 40 knots, diminishing to 25 knots. Seas 4 feet.
Wind's supposed to kick up, and
seas get real rough, and it would hold us there far past the hunt date. So we're calling it a couple days early in an effort to get out of there, you know, before we can't get out of there. I really wanted to wrap this up. It's been something that dream I've been chasing for a long time, and I thought it was pretty cool to get the opportunity, and I'll stay after it. Eventually I'll get it wrapped up. You don't accomplish goals by quitting, but we're gonna just have to do it another day.
If your pulse is pounding, it's adrenaline. The hot new bow from Mathews. The Adrenaline is loaded with Mathews innovation, including next-generation slim limbs, which are thinner, lighter, and stronger. The Adrenaline weighs in at just 3.85 pounds. That's light. Thin is in. Feel Adrenaline at your Mathews retailer and check your pulse. Mathews, catch us if you can.
Ready to rock?
Well, as ready as I'll ever be, I guess. But we're at the Mathews ASA Pro-Am in Metropolis, Illinois. This is actually the ASA event that Mathews sponsors, so it's the Mathews Pro-Am, and these things are so much fun. I come down here to really be with the archery family and just to see everyone. This trailer goes pretty much all over the country doing different events and allowing people to experience Mathews and check out the new products. And we sell apparel at the events and that kind of thing. Just staying in touch mainly with our consumers.
What would you have done if he'd have run towards you?
Through booing at him.
I'm glad you had that backup plan.
First goal was, to reach 5,000 bows per year. Once we did that, then we set a much loftier goal, and it's like, we got this. We're going to be the largest bow manufacturer in the industry,
Well, there's always what you would hope for, and then what you would expect, right? So what we expected, we blew past, but it was every bit as much as we'd ever hoped for.
Each bow has a specific draw length and draw weight that's called for by our customer.
And in that era, 1992, we felt that, print, let's own it. And so we wouldn't spend a dime anywhere else other than print until we were the most dominant bow manufacturer published. It's like, great, what's the next step? So we assembled a pro staff. We dominated the tournament circuit in the mid-90s to currently. And I just love to see what those shooters can accomplish with our equipment. It's amazing.
We have the most wins of any organization in the pro world in the 3D arena.
Honestly, Joel, to me, has always kind of been the face of Mathews. I believe that Joel's mostly responsible for an incredible team of pro shooters and pro hunters and whatever else. I mean, it's just a great group of people.
Mathews was really advancing things as far as accuracy and balance, and all aspects of archery were advancing very, very quickly, and it was really obvious to the shooters.
When we came out with Catch Us If You Can, it was at a time when we were still growing super fast. And we were saying that we're going to continue doing this. We're going to continue being innovative, and we're going to continue to be running and not walking.
You have to do me a favor in editing. So this is a note to editor. Some of those arrows and some of those cars You can't, not today. Today is really rough. It would be awesome if that wasn't part of what we're doing. There's a lot of different ways maybe to tackle a Super Slam. The financial angle really isn't how I got there. I got there from a kid that just hunts way too much. Peanut butter sandwiches and do-it-yourself, public land. I just went. I just would jump in the truck and take off.
That tar went 150 feet.
I'm not a very good financial person, and my goal in life is to have the last check that I write bounce. I'm not taking it with me. My brother called me and he says, "Hey, we're gonna do a muskox hunt this spring in March," and I'm like, "We are?" And he's like, "Yeah." He says, "You got a few months to save. It's gonna be like $6,000. No, I got nothing. I'm living check to check." So we take off and we go in there and we've got to buy the tags, and I had enough to cover the tags, but all the guys, they're getting 2 tags. And I've got just the 1 tag. I'm like, wait, time out, there's an option for 2? I'm like, dude, you gotta float me alone. And now I have 0 money in my pocket. I drained my credit card, but I got two muskox tags and we're good to go. So we get our muskox and we get the stuff back, and I'm like, sweet, I'm home free. I haven't had money now for like a week. I'm traveling on 0. And I'm driving home and I realize, oh my word, I don't have enough gas to get home. So I called my buddy in Eau Claire and I'm like, dude, you gotta meet me down at the truck stop. And he comes out there. I told him the whole story, and I said, you know, I'm dead broke and I'm pretty far in debt, but there's 2 muskox in the truck. So sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to make it happen, you know. It's definitely an expenditure to go after those adventures. You know, ever since the last hunt, I knew I'd be going back to Alaska for this guy. So we're gonna get up there and try to get our brown bear. And yeah, it would have been nice if the first time around would have panned out, but I guess this way we get to do it twice.
If you guys want to follow me out into the factory before we start our tour down to the machine shop, I'd like to introduce you to Scott Jenkins. He's our department manager here in our machine shop.
Good morning, everyone. Seen a lot of leaps and bounds over the years. We started out with just a couple machines. Now we have 22 in-house that we machine 24 hours a day, 5 days a week on.
All right, team, time to go bear hunting. Welcome aboard the Angela C. Well, there's a saying, home is where your heart is. There's also a saying, home is where your boat is. So here's home.
Yeah, we call this, that is Skull Island, and we sit over here and we look over on this hillside and watch the bears, and sometimes we see them over here, see mountain goats on this side.
All right, team, we'll get stuff out. What we'll do is we'll get up and set up and sit here for a couple hours through the midday move and see what we see.
This is the glassing location that Paul comes to, and Derek just spotted a bear over there, went into the brush. We're gonna sit down and see if he comes back out. We're ready.
Spot me a bear, I'll tell you how big it is.
It's a funny story. So like the polar bear I shot, it was blessed with a super cool hunt. I heard of that cancellation hunt they called it. The first call was, you know, I needed to get going within a few days or whatever. So I called my wife and I said, hey, how partial are you to your part of the 401k? So I just cashed that in. She's like, you can use it. I can't never retire, but I got a polar bear.
You know, today we talk a lot and emphasize a lot about proving ground, which is a statement to our audience that, hey, we don't just build a product and throw it onto the market without putting it through real life experience. And every time we have a new model coming out, you know, we're doing a prototype, we're handing it to Joel. I mean, Matt's like super zoned into that, because if he can build anything to withstand, you know, the things that Joel does and how he does it, then it's gonna work for anyone.
So if it survives, Joel, we've always said, it's great.
He's bet me that I can't hit the center of that Rice Krispie bar straight underneath is 30 feet. Dude, it came a bit, dude. While taking the Rice Krispie bar challenge. I got my bottom lip a little close to the stand. Oh man, things ain't looking up. It's a $250 Rice Krispie bar. No, $769 Rice Krispie.
We want to elevate the archery experience. That's what we are today. We want the experience of our product to be like no other. So, you know, Joel is the face of proving grounds.
We are archers, and we do utilize all this stuff in the field, and we put it through everything that you could imagine. We want to build the best bows so that you're shooting better, you're shooting more efficiently, accurately. It's just elevating what you want to do as an archer. I'll get a random idea, and I don't want it to get away. So I grab my phone and I just get a hold of the engineering department, and I'm like, hey dude, I'm not saying this is how to build it. In fact, this is a 1980 or 70 quiver. Hey dude, tell me if this is a cool thing or if I'm just reinventing the wheel and I should stop immediately before somebody gets hurt.
Hey dude, got this quiver. He's like, I've been working, I just was thinking, and he's like, I got my hacksaw out, and he just starts like filing down and getting after it, which is classic Joel, but it works is the thing. Like, he'll make something that works, it just doesn't look pretty. He's like, I know you guys can make this look better than it is, but I think this would be cool.
Now, intentionally, whenever I send them input from the field, it's always, hey dude, we need to do this. Got a sow and 3 cubs over here on the
He's working left because I saw him in the grass on the other side of that point. He could be through there in a minute or two. We'll go up alongside here. I can sneak up on him with this wind.
Let's get your bow.
Should I shot?
What's that?
Should I shot?
I wouldn't take that shot even if I was as good as archer as you. You know, with a crosswind at 55 yards, I mean, I want to get 35 yards.
Yeah. It's a bear. I'd rather hit him good. It's freaking awesome. Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah.
As the Super Slam became a reality, the equipment became so much more important to me. Some of those animals are very, very hard earned, and those shots are so important. And accuracy and making it happen is just a huge deal. You might be 20 days on the mountain for one opportunity, and that opportunity you can't fail. We had an encounter with a great bear, probably 9.5 foot or 9.2, they figure, and it was 55 yards and broadside and very, very doable shot. I do it all the time, but I just don't want to risk it on one of these guys. I want to make it right. I want to make sure it's the right bear and the right shot and make it happen the way it's supposed to and nice and clean, and we'll get it done. We'll get it done. It's pretty cool.
You never know when we have to go on a wild bear chase.
We're right down to the wire. But here's what's going to happen today. We're going to go out there, we're going to find a big bear, walking on the beach, we're going to get in front of him, he's going to walk right by, and we're going to shoot him right behind the front leg. Spotted a bear coming down the beach. He currently walked out into the ocean about 20 yards. He's out there swimming in the ocean right now. Pretty cool. Wind's good. Everything looks good. We're going to give this one a try. The emotion is like unbelievable. There's so many thoughts that just come rushing, and what we went through with this equipment, me personally on these hunts, to get to this point in time, it's an amazing journey, and I could not be more thankful. This way.
59 yards.
Hey. Yeah, he's in trouble. That bear's,
Oh, he'll go in there and lay up.
He's dead. It was intense. Super cool. Super nice bear. I'm so thankful right now. Thank you, Lord. Please let this come to conclusion here and let us harvest our bear and get that guy, and hope he's dead right there. And it was amazing. What a journey. This has been an incredible journey. Just can't say enough how blessed I am to be here right now and have that be the 29th animal of my Super Slam, and never give up, never quit, and just kept pounding. But I really, honestly, in the back of my mind, didn't think it was feasible or possible. I always dreamed, and I always had faith. Oh, he's huge. Nice. Oh my gosh. That was a lot better hit than we thought, that second arrow. The accomplishment really wasn't just the animals. The accomplishment was the equipment that we built along the way that's evolved archery to the level it is right now. I accomplished the Super Slam with exclusively a Mathews bow. And there's 29 animals and there's 30 years of Mathews.
Joel reached number 29 on the Super Slam list with the last brown bear team.
Congratulations. Incredible accomplishment. You give bows one for...
It's a culmination of a lifelong pursuit of bow hunting, and just enjoyed every species and every moment. So happy to have this bear, and I just love bow hunting. I want to thank my wife, who's at home tonight, out of gas and propane furnace, and has to sleep in 1 below 0 without any heat in the house. I'm not joking. We ran out of propane. Missed that whole target. I'm pretty sure.
Let's get closer. Let's do the 10-yard thing. You shoot first, Joe.
Oh gosh. Oh. I think I got it. Is it coming back? Oh! I don't know. Oh, well, let's just quit. Let's go back to the house. I am the day, I am the dawn, I am the darkness coming on. That was kind of ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. Just understand, guys, I'm using Joel's arrow now.
If we put people first, business will follow. And they immediately got that. And Joel was already on that page. And I've seen how Joel has poured his time and love into people too, when they just needed someone to be there for them. And again, I've really tried to surround myself with people that had values very similar to mine. And we have got an absolute collection of people that are just amazing, Joel being the first one that I hired.
I forgot my water bladder for my Tenzing, and we found an old trapper's cabin, and there's a mason jar. So this has been my water bottle all week, is a canned mason jar. And I'm not even going to tell you what was growing in there when we first found it. I had to scrub and wash and took sand and cleaned it out, but it holds good water now.
For us to have an individual like that literally thinks about bows and arrows every day, and then the pursuit for the critters that we love to chase. I mean, he is at next level, and he's woven into the fibers of our company.
Found you one. Congrats, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah. Did you shoot him last night or this morning?
Last night.
Last night.
6 o'clock.
Nice.
My biggest feeling of accomplishment through all the years at Mathews is when I look in the eyes of the people that are there now and what the future holds for them. It's amazing because in a small way I helped those people achieve their goals. I enjoy that as much as accomplishing the goals myself.